Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you on the next episode of the PEFC Public Consultation webinars. Today, we're going to talk about the Spanish Forest Certification System. My name is Hubert Inhäuser, and it's my absolute pleasure to be your host today. Our agenda is the same as we usually have on these webinars. First, I will have a short introduction about PFC International for those who are not that familiar yet with our system. And then I will hand over to the team of PFC Spain to introduce us to the Spanish Forest Certification System. And at the end, as always, we're going to have dedicated time for questions and answers. So let's get started. So those who doesn't know, the PFC acronym stands for Program for the Endorsement of Forest Certification Systems. We are an alliance of independent national forest certification systems under the umbrella of PFC International. All of the national forest certification systems are based on PFC's sustainability benchmark standards, like the SFM standard, or they are integrating the international standards, such as the chain of custody standard. This is a purely voluntary mechanism promoting sustainable forest management through independent third-party certification. And of course, we are very proud that we are the world's largest forest certification system and provider of 3/4 of the world's certified and sustainably managed timber. On this map, you can see our global coverage. I would like to underline that what you see on the map with dark green, those are the PFC members with endorsed systems, and those in light green, you see our members which currently do not maintain endorsed systems. And just a couple of introductory words about the Spanish system. So the Spanish system documentation was submitted in December 2023 for assessment. This assessment will be carried out by an independent assessor, yet to be appointed. It's very important that part of this assessment includes 60 days international public consultation. You can have the possibility to access the complete Spanish system documentation. It's available on our website. We opened the public consultation just today, and we are encouraging all the stakeholders to take a look and let us know if they have a say about the Spanish system until 3 of May. So until 3rd of May, this publication is open. We strongly encourage again that those who are interested take part in this public consultation, because all of the comments submitted to PFC International during this consultation will be considered by the appointed assessor in the assessment report. And with this, I conclude this short introduction, and it's my absolute pleasure to have here the Spanish PFC team with me, who will introduce the Spanish Forest Certification System. Ana Marta, you have the floor. Thank you.
Then the revision process of the Spanish system, the standardization of sustainable forest management, and the conclusions. This is the presentation about the forest sector in Spain. This is our country. This is Spain, our flag. How is it divided from the political perspective? We have 17 autonomous regions that they have their own parliaments, and we have a central government, which is based in Madrid, which is the capital of the country. Our country has more than 500,000 square kilometers of surface. Our population is about 48 million, a bit more, 48 million people. Our GDP is around 1.5 million of euros. Billions, it will be in Spanish, billions. And our per capita income is 30,320. We are members of the European Union since 1986. From the perspective of the bioclimatic regions, we have three climate regions, which are the Atlantic region, Alpine region in purple, the Mediterranean region that as you can see, is the mainly in the main the biggest area, and the Macaronesian region in the Canary Islands, which are in the western part of Africa. If we get a view of our orography, you can see that Spain is mainly brown, dark brown, light brown, but brown. This means that we are a mountain, quite sloppy country. We have an average altitude of 660 meters, like we have, for instance, in the capital, in Madrid. So this makes us, we don't have these flatlands for flat forests, but we have many protective forests because they take care of the slopes of the mountains. Regarding the how many forests do we have in Spain, we have more than half of our land with forest, which is forest land. We are the second largest forest area country within Europe, after Sweden. And if we come to the forested land, we will be the third country in Europe after Sweden and Finland. If we take a look of the forests, this is the share. We have 55.8% of forest land, of which 8,000 are more than 8,000 are forests, and 18.8% are other wooded land, and the rest, as you see on the left-hand side, we can see that is 44.2 non-forest territory. Regarding our ownership of this forest land, we have publicly owned 7,800,000 hectares. This means that it is 28% of the land, and the 72% are privately owned, which is more than 20 million hectares. If we take a look of the forest planning, we can see that there is more forest planning within the publicly owned land, which is this publicly only owned land will have 44% of forest planning, and if we come to the privately owned, we will have close to 12%. If we come to the total figures, we will have around about 20% of forest planning in the whole land. This is some of the, I can show you some of how these regions look in Spain. This is the Atlantic region in Galicia. You can see we have evergreen, mainly forest deciduous. This is evergreen land in Mediterranean region in Andalusia, the south of Spain. Here is the northern, this is the Pyrenees, this Alpine region, Aragon, Ordesa, y Monte Perdido National Park. This is Mediterranean also, but we have here evergreens also and broadleaves mixture in Castilla-León. This is Macaronesian area in Canary Islands. These are also evergreen. And I show you here one of the examples of how is the ownership in Spain. How big are the properties? This is an image from Galicia, the northwest of Spain. Then you can see here this small surface. These lines mean small pieces of land owned by different persons, different citizens, and these small pieces of land are due to successive inheritance. We have really low mechanization in the forest. Could be a typical forest in the center of Spain. And if we come to protected areas, the national protected areas covers 67% of the forest land. If we come to Natura 2000, Natura 2000 covers 80% of the forest land. So, and within this Spanish forest land, which is protected, more than 40% is under protected areas or Natura 2000. If we come to the figures of growth and volume, Spanish timber volume is 1,140 million cubic meters. The annual growth is 47 million of cubic meters, and the national harvesting rate is 39%, one of the lowest countries in the EU. And this harvested wood, these data are from 2021. We have 17.8 millions of cubic meters, which are used for wood pulp, is 34%, boards 20%, timber and bioenergy 21%, veneer and uncoiling 1%, so 22%, and post and others 2%. This is the share of the uses of the harvested wood. Regarding non-timber products, the production of cork in 2021 is 54,000 tons. We are the second producer globally after Portugal. If we come to pine nuts of a high quality, we have around 684, chestnuts 10,650, truffles 9,000 kilos, mushrooms 12 tons, and resins more than 10,200 tons. Regarding exports and imports, we have uncoiling firewoods and boards exports of the 15% and imports of 6% of some timbers, mainly wood, veneer, and recovered paper, which have grown respectively 29% and 27%. Regarding the PFC Sustainability Forest Management and Certification, PFC certification covers 91% of the total certification in our country. We have 2,769,000 and 490 hectares. And this surface are owned or managed by 66,345 citizens, women and men. If you take a look, if we come to the northwest to Galicia, we have the surface certified land close to 445,000 hectares, and these are owned. This surface is owned by 53, almost 54,000 owners. Here you can see the small size of the property, as I showed you before in the picture. If we come to how is this certification organized? We have in Spain, we have in place the three modalities of forest certification: individual, the group, and the regional certification, which is within the group. If we come to individual, we have some 8 certificates with 389,000 hectares. and we have 8 owners or managers of these certificates. If we come to the group, we have 21 certificates, and we have half a million of hectares within these certificates, with 53,000 silvicultures behind. If we come to regional, we have 9 certificates in 9 autonomous regions. For us, it is really important, regional certification, because it means it is an it means an public and private interface. We have these are solidar certificates. There is one certificate in one region that it has inside all the forest, sustainably forest managed land certified by PSC. So we think this is the regional is one of them for us, one of the most important, as you can see in the figures regarding the surface. If we come to the property of this land, we will see that the certified forest land is 38% private and 62% public. We have how do we organize all these small forest management units? We have hundreds of thousands of forest management units. And so we have organized a system with by means of what we can know at the same time we have a visor that we can use to see which land is certified by PSC, and it is updated every day. If we see the SIG system, we have 80% of the certified area within this platform, and we have 92% of the forest management units within this platform. So how does it work? When we have a request of including surface by a forest owner or a manager, this has to be approved by the auditor, and then PSC Spain can see at the same time what is going on with the certification. This information is private for these 3 agents. Marta, maybe you want to speak a little more further about develop these new tools.
Connected with this database that nowadays is fully implemented, we are now developing new tools as using the information of the geolocalization of the forest management unit certified to know which kind of forests are certified, where it is, and also we are developing through a project a remote sensing system to identify the areas where the vegetation cover are modified during the last period, so the certificate holder can focus on that areas the sampling of the internal audits, and also the certification body can select their audits taking into account this risk evaluation.
Yeah, so this is something that we think it increases the transparency of the audits, and it also is a strength of the sampling, because we all, the accreditation schemes and so on. They sometimes they are hesitant about this sampling when auditing, but we need to give as much as transparency that we can about how the land shows and the changes in the forest cover of the land. So as Marta said, the auditor has a better knowledge of changes in the land. As you can see, we have what you can search for this information within the public search engines. in our webpage, in our home of our webpage, you can find all our public search engines. Here you have some examples about the regional certificates, and then if you click in any of these, you will see you will find all the public data that you can get from the platform. If we come to chain of custody, we have 1,745 certified companies. This is the distribution in different autonomous regions. This you can see what are the strongest are, for instance, Galicia in the northwest, and there are some other communities that have very few, like the Canary Islands or the Balearic Islands, that where we are improving on our work for having more and more chain of custodies. This data, all this data we are offering about the certification are close to the end of 2023. The chain of custody growth is low, but it maintains. And from 2020 to 23, we have some 170 new certified companies with an increase of 11.4%. What kind of materials do we have? We have the main chain of custody, the main amount of chains of custody are in close to the forest, let's say. We have wood and construction, we have sawmills, we have also, then we come to paper with pulp and paper, graphics, warehouses, or pellets and energy, 71. We have also textile with textile, seven textile companies with woven and non-woven textiles. Non-wood forest products, we have 4 of other non-wood forest products like Iberian ham or truffles or chestnuts. We have also cork, 3 companies, and resins with 7 companies. Natural resins are more are increasing the markets are increasing the demand of resins. So how did we revise our system, our scheme? The first time that we were endorsed, it was in May 21 in 2002. This is the 3rd revision of the Spanish system and began in June 2019. And the revision of the forest certification system was done taking into account the new PFC international standard, their requirements, the previous experience in its application at the national level, and all comments received from different stakeholders during the previous period. The timeline was affected very much by COVID-19 related restrictions. So these are the milestones. The first endorsement milestone was in November 2019 with the Spanish Forest Certification System review. The second endorsement milestone was in May 2021, the Spanish Forest Certification System revision. And the third endorsement milestone was the submission of the Spanish revised system revision it was in May 2022, but we sent complementary documentation in December 2023. So this is the structure of the Spanish system. We have technical documents and the standard in blue. In green technical documents, we have the framework document, the SFM technical normative document, and the PFC general procedures. So if we carry on with the explanation of how do we do with the technical documents, we have, as you see, the framework document, the technical normative document in the center, and PFC general procedures. All these documents are developed by the PFC technical working group, which is made out of members and and some technical experts nominated by these our members. This is internal job. Who are this technical working group? Are 16 entities part of the PFC Spain working group, and more than 30 people have participated in the meetings. We started in June 2019 and finished in May 2023. We made 31 meetings online because of the COVID, and then we started this media. We use the instruments to develop the Spanish technical documents. We have for public information. We did it by means of our key stakeholders and our website. It was published in our website, press releases and other means. If we come to the frame document, the index this is the content has a contextual framework, the introduction to the system revision, the Spanish forest landscape, Spanish Association for Forestry Sustainability, which is PFC Spain, Spanish system structure, certification application levels, the UNE standards and the standardization process of SFM, and the training. The technical documents, the normative document has an introduction, definitions, SFM management planning, certified entity modalities, which is individual and group, made out of regional and group certification, functions of the certificate representative entity, management system, participants of the group for certification in regional and group, forestry works carried out in management units within the Sustainable Forest Management Certificate, the PFC declaration in products from certified areas, the Sustainable Forest Management Certification entities, and the last but not least, the procedure of obtaining this SFM certificate. If we come to the technical documents, the third group of technical documents are the general procedures, and then these are the list of general procedures: granting of the license, fees and model of contracts, and of the different PFC trademark users are included as annexes. PG2 is Sustainable Forest Management Audit, PG3 Notification of Certification Bodies, PG4 Dispute Settlement, and PG5 Transition Period of the Standard UNE 162.002. So this up to now, I told you how all the technical documents developed internally within PFC Spain. Now we come to the SFM standard, which is the UNE 162.002, and this is made inside the standardization, the National Standardization Organization, which is called UNE. We have a technical committee, which is the CTN 162, and we have a subcommittee, which is SC2. So this is an official standardization committee. PFC Spain doesn't draft their own standards, but adopts the standards developed by UNE. How was the standard revision process? There was a preliminary work, then there was the drafting of the 161.002 standard project, and then we have a public consultation. Then we have, sorry, there is a mistake, it's 162 in the number 2. Number 4, it was drafting the project of the standard, the proposal. and ending by the approval of the and dissemination of the standard. What do we do? What was the preliminary work? It was a gap analysis. So we made a revision. I must say that PFC Spain acts as a secretariat of this technical committee within UNE. So we only are the ones dealing with all the secretariat duties, and this is our task. So for the gap analysis, we made a revision of the UNE standards, carried out taking into account the following items: incorporate experience gained from the application of the current and previous versions, include requirements for sustainable forest management agreed upon in various national and international processes and regulations that are relevant to Spanish forests, and consider the latest scientific advancements and emerging issues. We also, within this preliminary work, we did a mapping of the stakeholders, taking into account the categories of Agenda 21, which are companies and industry, children and youth, forest owners, local authorities, non-governmental organizations, scientific and technological community, women, and workers and trade unions. All these groups were contacted and invited to come. So we made a first public announcement, and we made an invitation to all interested parties. We use websites, publications, press releases, direct contact with key stakeholders, and so on and so forth. So this announcement, this first call, we celebrate a meeting within the Ministry of Environment premises, which is this picture on the right-hand side. And this was the public announcement to all the interested parties. So the second part was the drafting of the standard project. So the committee was we proceed to the constitution of the committee, and the 13th of October in 2020, and it was renewal the composition of the CTN 162 and the subcommittee based on the received forms, while maintaining a balance of stakeholders groups. So we have within the plenary, which is the CTN, the plenary group is chaired by Francisco Carreño, which is the chair of the private forest owners the Confederation, sorry. And within the subcommittee 2, which is the one in charge of drafting the standard, is chaired by Guillermo Fernández Centeno from the Ministry of Environment. So we have the same members in both committee and subcommittee. After we started the working sessions with 46 stakeholders participating in the meetings from October 22 to September 21. We had 3 meetings of the plenary and 11 meetings of the subcommittee. All documents have been included in the official UNE's document repository, so everyone can make a consultation of any document and leave their comments and everything by this e-committees platform. In September 30th, 2021, the CTN 162, the plenary, approved unanimously the 162-1002 standard project and then it passed to a 60-day public consultation. After that, after the public consultation, from November 2020 to January 2022, it was informed in the official bulletin of the state, and was also the platform, the UNE platform was also open to comments. we also publish in our website. This is one example of the comments in April the 5th of 2022. The comments were received in this platform and were discussed, all these comments, by the subcommittee. And in March 16th, in 2023, the CTN 162 unanimously approved the PNE 162 standard as 002 standard proposal. And this is the publication, the final approval, and the publication in the official, the state official bulletin, the Spanish official bulletin, the resolution of these two new standards. The first one is SFM, vocabulary, terms and definitions, and SFM, criteria and indicators. These are the two standards which are published in April 2023. And we can proudly inform you that this standard and the how PLC is working through this standard, against this standard, is contained in the Spanish Forest Strategy 2050 in one of their documents, which is the Basic Common Guidelines for Sustainable Forest Management. They speak about how these committees are working against the Forest Europe criteria and indicators that we do. We use these bases, so it's like the ministry feels like how we are doing, and the forest sector and all the stakeholders feel like the ownership of this document of the Spanish standard of the Spanish SFM standard, because everybody is participating, is part of also of other regulations and other international commitments that the Spanish government has undertaken. And they say that the integration of these indicators into the framework and substance of these forest tools by regional governments would further encourage certification efforts. Because in our law, the Article 35 says, in the Spanish forest law, that public administration are to actively promote the advancement of the forest certification systems, and namely also PFC, as is contained in this document. So what are the conclusions? What were the strengths of all this long process to have our current documents, which are now under evaluation by PFC and our future auditor? The strengths are the transparent and participatory process, high commitment from stakeholders, the integration of geolocation requirements in GIS format, remote sensing tools to assess risk and focus audits, and the challenges were the COVID-19. It was really tough doing long sessions. We couldn't do long sessions because it was so tiring, and all the atmosphere and the feelings of all the participants were not the best, but we did it in a really constructive mood. All meetings were held online, as we point out here, and we have a high number of requirements from SD 1002 and 1003 standards to be placed within the structure, and also all the requirements were all these new regulations from PFC were really challenging for us and to implement. So this is what we wanted to show you today, and we are very thankful of having you all here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anna and Marta, for this very detailed, well put together presentation. And now it's time for clarification questions from the audience, if there are any. And until maybe they prepare themselves, that you just, Anna, mentioned at the end that there were some difficulties in the 2018 version of the SFM standard in the Spanish context, and if there's maybe something what you could share as a lesson learned, which were the elements which triggered the most discussions?
Maybe the tough part was to how implement the international definitions with the definition in the case of the national law regarding forests and things like that. And finally, how to incorporate new requirements in a scheme that was implemented since 2002. So sometimes to change the way the people are doing the things is quite difficult. Maybe it's not so difficult what is the change, but to how to organize a change with so many people involved in different kind of areas, and how to implement a new requirement, take into account this high biodiversity and high different places and different types of management in Spain. So every new requirement has to be discussed during a long time. So we need a lot of time to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Marta. I think indeed, especially when we are looking forward for the EUDR related discussions, definitions came to have a higher role to play as maybe in the past. So I think indeed that's very, very important. I don't see any hand raised from the audience. I myself think also that it was a very well detailed presentation, so I will certainly watch it again to know more about how the particular details were presented. And if there's no more questions, just I would like to invite everyone again to make sure that you look at the Spanish documentation of the PFC website and you use the international public consultation possibility to have your say until 3rd of May. With this, I would like to thank you, Anna and Marta, for the excellent presentation today and also for attendance. Everyone who spared time for this webinar today. And with this, I wish you a lovely day ahead. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.